In today's hometown history and haunts, we are going to explore ways to experience a good scare or thrill in the comfort of your own home. This time of year, many people turn to those spookier reads, and joining us now with some recommendations is Doloris Vest. She's the owner of Book No Further. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yes, a lot of people are big into thrills this time of year.
This time of year, horror is a good seller anytime, but it really picks up the pace in October.
Yeah. All right. So you have a plethora of recommendations here. Where do we want to start, Doloris?
Everything from some books that people know about here. Well, The Cipher is a very traditional horror.
Okay.
It is creepy. It's how do you make art and be poor and do love people all at the same time. It's got a real lot of atmosphere to it.
Okay.
Even though I knew the end, that is a young woman who must make a deal with the devil. And she has to solve a crime to save her brother.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty traditional trope for thrillers, but it has some spookiness and supernatural. That's what you see in a lot of horror, is a supernatural kind of connotation. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, and then what do we have here?
Wuthering Heights. Everybody's familiar with Kathy and Heathcliff, and it's a very good example of how a place can be almost like a character, a creepy place, because of the moors and the dark setting. So that's a good example of that. There are so many nice versions of that out. There's illustrated versions because it's in the public domain, and lots of different treatments to it. So
okay, great. All right, and then what do we have here?
Undertaking Heart and Mercy is a fairly new book. It's a favorite. It is about an undertaker and a zombie who, it's the traditional boy meets girl, don't like each other, go apart, and then they start being private pen pals, and they don't realize who they're talking to, and they fall in love. So, you know, what is an undertaker and a zombie going to have in common? So, makes things difficult. Right.
Okay. All right. And then what do we have for you here?
This one is, let me make sure what we've got here. We've got The Death of Jane. This was another one. Jane and Augustine get to marriage of convenience, and this is another one where the setting's important. She is prohibited from going to his house. Of course, she shows up at his house, of course.
Right.
And it is mayhem ensues. The house is a character here, a malevolent kind of creature in the story. Okay. So that one's really good.
Yeah, a lot of hauntings are big right
now. A lot of hauntings.
Right?
Hauntings are really big, yeah.
And you have a wide range, right? From like the spooky to the thrill to, you know, even the uncomfortable.
Yeah, right? And you get everything from, oh, that could really happen to me, to some supernatural kind of thing that is just good fantasy.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people really are into the fantasy too.
Right, very much so.
Yeah, that's a very popular genre. Okay, and then Dracula, of course.
Dracula, it's a beautiful pop-up book. Everybody knows the story of Dracula, and this is just a great way. Graphic novels are very big anyway, so this kind of adaptation is wonderful to kind of bring it to life, literally, the way there's movement within the book itself. Yeah,
and I love this too, because you can get kids involved too, you know, and then they get really into the story, and then that just kind of, you know, helps, you know, foster that love of reading. And we're looking at some of the pages there. They just jump right out at you. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's talk a little bit about maybe for the younger kids.
The younger kids. The Great Zombie Pumpkin Parade. And this is just as silly and as funny as you think it is. It's a rhythm and rhyme kind of book. And we have things, I have to read these names. There's the slime-faced Sumpkin, the bubble-earned Bumpkin, and the ghoul-eyed Gumpkin. So it's a very silly book.
It's fun to read.
It's hard to read, but yes, it's fun to read. It's a lot of fun to read.
I love it. Okay, so these are all available at your bookstore, Book No Further.
Yeah.
And this weekend, you have a special event coming.
We have Dark Tales from the Star City. We have some local authors that are published both nationally and locally that write horror, traditional horror, paranormal, romance, and they're going to be reading out on the street in front of the store. So come and join us. That's at 1 o'clock. Down on the market.
Oh, that is fabulous. I love that. All right, there's the information on your screen. And of course, we'll have more information on our website. Doloris, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so you have all sorts of thrills this season for sure.